the newly named G16 Coalition. We originally called the Carmel Valley Coalition, but recently we changed the name, and it's official now. Frank says, Secretary of State has recognized the new name.
What does G16 stand for?
Who wants to answer that question?
I will.
There you go, Susan.
It's the unifying factor for the whole valley. Our road is actually G16, Carmel Valley Road is.
That's correct. And by the way, we have our new website is up. It's the 3Ws.G16Coalition.com. So it's up, and this speech will be on the website. Give us a little while to put it on there. Last week we had this last month we had Heather Goss speak about the United Nations Agenda 21 Max and land control. And that's on there now, so you can bring it up and look at it. Anyway, Michael, a couple other things. We have 4 of our board members here, Susan, Frank, and Michael over here. We have about 6 people on the board, a few people not here today. Michael Waxer is one of our members, and he has been going to a number of meetings about storm water regulations and what's coming down the pipeline. And he suggested Tom over here, Tom Harty.
Yes.
As a person that knew quite a bit about it. Tom is with the Monterey County Public Works. He's a licensed civil engineer, and apparently it's going to be on his shoulders to implement these regulations. Yeah, I'm sure you're just looking forward to that, aren't you?
Yep.
Anyway, Tom Harty.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here. Most of my, just a little bit of a background on me too, most of my experience is in the private sector. So I have been working for the county for about 2.5 years. They hired me to manage the stormwater program over there. So I'm able actually to still, I haven't been there long enough, I think, and Michael actually kids me about this, but I haven't been able to, I still have continuity with what things look like from his side of the counter out in front. So thanks for letting me be here today. There is an awful lot of information that I have, and there's absolutely no way I'll be able to get it to you accurately and try and do it justice. So what I've done is I've created like a handout. This is a synopsis of one of the stormwater programs that the state is pushing through right now. So probably best to just pass them around. That's what I'll be talking about today. Well, the main point I'd like to do is just to let you know that this is coming. It's a proposed regulation. There's a public comment period that's open on it right now through July 6th. And if you feel so inclined, please submit any comments you have on the program. This program has been developed by the Central Coast Regional Water Board. All this is in these notes too. And they are enacting it. It's a new regulation. We're required to implement it. But it has nothing to do, it's nothing we created. Again, I work for Monterey County, and today I'm really here to just inform everyone what's happening. So feel free to ask any questions. It's confusing. Everything about stormwater is confusing, and any chance I have to try and dispel some of the confusion, I'll take it, which is why I'm here today. So I've got this next handout I'm passing around, kind of an outline of where I'd like to go today. And there's room on the back for taking notes. I've included some links to where you can get more and detailed information on all these programs. And at the end today too, if you're interested, I can send you an email on it. There's a schedule of the pending regulations that I have that I try and distribute that has open links too, so it's pretty easy to find information on the different programs. But what I'd like to start with today is just kind of a very quick overview of how the stormwater works in California. Everyone, I think by now is familiar with stormwater, but there are, it's a complicated program because there are a number of different and conflicting programs throughout. So on this sheet that I passed out, it just kind of starts out, it's kind of like an organizational chart. But in 1972, the EPA was handled with, or delegated responsibility for implementing the Clean Water Act. They took that and said to each of the states, okay, we're giving you responsibility for your state. In California, it ended up going to the State Water Resources Control Board, and they established 9 regional boards that they work with. At the state level, they have the NPDES permits, which is what most people are thinking of when you say stormwater. And if you look under there, when you have time, there's 4 general NPDES permits that the state has. One is the construction general permit, there's an industrial general permit, the Caltrans permit, and then the municipal permit. So these are all, they call them the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, NPDES. They're going through Sacramento. The ones that have a red outline on these are under revision right now. What they do is revise the permit every 5 years. So they're in the process of being revised and updated to reflect current technology. There's also an ocean program that the State Water Board, going back up to the yellow box, manages in California. You may have heard recently about the areas of special biological significance, ASBS. That was approved in March, and we're in the process of implementing that now. There's another one coming up called the State Water Quality Protection Areas, which is actually, it's an ocean water program. It's very similar to ASBS, but they're thinking that it's not going to be as restrictive on what's allowed to discharge into the ocean, the areas. We'll see how that works out. Coming over on the right-hand side of that sheet now, we're down to the regional board level. And our regional board is located in San Luis Obispo. Recently, they've done a number of new regulations. One is the agricultural order that has been pretty widely publicized. The city of Salinas had their municipal stormwater permit recently renewed as well. And today, what I'd like to do is just take the rest of my time here to talk about the post-construction stormwater management requirements. This is a program that's been developed by the regional board in San Luis Obispo. It applies to development, period, in the Central Coast region. And it applies to anything, public and private, that has more than 2,500 square feet of impervious area. So, as we go through, let's go on to the next page.
Could I interrupt for a second?
Yes.
Can you go through some of these? What is NPDES and what do these things mean again?
So NPDES stands for National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System. And that was the program that was established by the Clean Water Act in 1972. That was I believe it was enacted by Congress. Congress told the EPA to manage it, and that's what they created. So in California, we have 4 major NPDES permits. It's the construction permit, which if anyone knows or has any dealings with construction, that's been out for a couple of years now.